Time now to talk business. Electricity tariff payable by power consumers in Nigeria is set to increase again as the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission reveals that another tariff review for 11 power distribution companies would hold in July. The NERC disclosed this in its notice of minor extraordinary review of tariffs for electricity transmission and distribution companies. The Commission explains that the extraordinary tariff review was as a result of changes in inflation, foreign exchange, gas prices, available generation capacity, and capital expenditure. It said the multi-year tariff order provided for minor reviews in every 6 months and major reviews in every 5 years. The Commission, however, states that extraordinary tariff reviews were done in instances where industry parameters had changed from those used in the operating tariff to such an extent that a review was urgently required to maintain the viability of the industry. Energy consultant and fellow ICANN, Sheson Okwande, is here to discuss this. Good morning, Sheson. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast and congratulations.
Good morning, Vero. Thanks very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's talk electricity. When you listen to a lot of Nigerians, when this report came out, next saying that there's going to be another review, I mean, it threw a lot of Nigerians off balance, saying, what again? And the timing, I mean, how has the previous reviews impacted the lives of end users of electricity when we're talking about electricity generation and supply? So let's talk to us from your point of view, what you make of this development.
Yeah, it's quite, let me say, disheartening, to be frank, considering the situation of the economy of an average citizen in this country. Before now, we understand NERC, the regulators, have MITO, like you read in your intro, of 6 months,
yeah,
review.
Major review.
And major review comes after 5 years.
After 5 years.
But the fact is, as at the time when MITO was established, I think in 2013, we never envisaged the current pandemic and the current insecurity that we are faced with in the nation. If we must balance things, it's not about the review alone. There are certain expectations from the DISCO to the consumers that is expected of them for this review to actually come in place. One of it is the rollout of meters, prepaid meters.
Absolutely.
How far have we gone? We've gone several steps from CAPMIL, to MAP, and now we have NMMP, where we want to give free meters because possibly the current position we found ourselves. But averagely, what is the percentage of the consumers that have been metered as we speak? We are still very far from it. How do you now measure the consumption for you to accurately bill or use what we have? Let's look at the other aspect. Our transmission. We generate a lot, but how much of it are we transmitting for an average consumer to enjoy this? A few months ago, we heard about the issue of service cost reflective index for pricing. And we have different bands, band A, band B, band C to E, where specific hours are allocated and pricing are given to this. But to my own analysis, I reviewed it. This has not worked. Because what the service cost-effective stuff was to do is that if you are in band A, your average consumption should be between 20 and 24 hours, and certain amount will be paid too. But are you aware that for a prepaid customers, I paid in advance? And I can say it with every sense of responsibility. Several people has not met this, but we have not reviewed downward some of the pricing mechanism. Take for example, possibly you have to pay about 57 naira. You have bought the credit for the month, and you paid that rate of 55 naira because you are in band A. But at the end of that month, your average consumption is about 12 hours. How do you review back? How do you do the adjustment? We have said this, that looking at the band service cost reflective, it will not work. We wrote to NEC and we suggested to them, can we have what was practiced in taxation those days of a stepped increase? There was a time here that we have different classes of pricing people. R1, R2, R3, C1, and these are based on the load of every consumer. Can we go back to that in such a way that you can pick up and say, for R2 customer, the first thing you need to do is we'll fix the price for you, and thereafter from there, if you are going to consume more or buy more, you pay more. But what we see now is that for the disco, right, what do you want from them? They want a situation where the highest bidder, the people in band A, get more of that supply. Even the metering system, they concentrate more on them.
Now, let's look at the implications of this consistent increase by the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission. A lot of Nigerians are already grumbling. What is the implication for this now, moving forward?
Yeah, I think what next should consider is, if you keep increasing, put at the other side the ability to pay. Average Nigerian cannot even afford this electricity any longer. Practical example, where I stay in the last 2 months, our transformer has packed up and nobody is even following up with them. In the sense that it's more economical for you to run your generator. Well, I'm not always around during the day. I come at night, I run my gen from that period till 12. The weather is favorable as we speak. So it should pass a message to them. If you keep increasing, the ability to pay must be considered. If that is not considered, nobody is doing it. And we are telling them, metering is key. Enough of excuses. People must have accurate billing, and it's high time they open the market and allow penetration of some of these things. Otherwise, in the nearest future, if this is done in July, I can assure you everybody is moving with you. Before December, if they try to review another one in January, everybody is going for solar energy, alternative power supply, and you just see that you have the power supply there and nobody is utilizing it. Right. Just like they have you will now be the one begging them to do this. So next should consider this, and this service band is giving more concentration to the people that pay, and we understand that with the disco, because the people that pay more to give you more, you definitely give them more supply, and those are the lower threshold that you feel that they cannot afford to pay, you not supply them. But they should consider a process where we have the step-by-step, graduating of paying some of these things, so that both the high and the low can benefit from this national gift of electricity.
All right, energy consultant and fellow ICANN, Ms. Sheson Okwadi, thank you for your time on the program.
It's a pleasure to be here, Vera.